Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this all the way up. I'm chilling. Man, we doing the 48 laws of power. This is a good one. Hold on a minute. How y'all been? I missed y'all. We'll be on 48 laws of power, law 14. And law 14 is pose as a friend, work as a spy. I'm waiting on Ken supposed to be coming in here. Collecting information through spying is essential to wielding power. When you know your opponent's secrets, you can predict his behavior and control him. And that's what the Illuminati does. That's what the CIA does. They all do that. Find out the secrets of their opponent, and then guess what? You do control them. Diddy did that, getting the information that he wanted. A lot of people do that, and they use it against you. You can enlist spies to gather intelligence for you, but it's better to be a spy yourself. Adopt a friendly manner, and you'll get people to spill their plans and weaknesses. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. To wield power, you need to understand others, their intentions, goals, and ambitions, as well as secrets, weaknesses, and ulterior motives. This knowledge enables you to predict what they'll do in the future. However, most people won't intentionally tell you these things. You need a way to get it out of them, get the information out of them without knowing that you working as a spy to their detriment. This is so, oh my God. Use spies, using others to get information. They may inadvertently give you away, get things wrong, start working against you. You know, if people get this, man, be a spy yourself. Be friendly and listen. It's easy and effective to pose as a friend while collecting information. Say little while getting others to do the talking and listen. And that's a fact. When I'm in a conversation with people, I let them talk. I don't, hey, Kate. Oh, thank you so much. I let them do the talking and I say little. And you know, people just talk. And you just be like, damn, until everything. Especially pay attention at social gatherings. People's guards are down because they drinking and they're trying to be friendly. Say little while showing great interest in others and they'll talk freely. That is a fact. You build allies as well as learning secrets. This is a perfect place to pose as a friend and work as a spy. Don't be too obvious in probing for information, however, or you arouse suspicions. Just don't say shit. They'll spill the beans because you got a lot of people out here that just want to talk. Wow, this is so good. So, and it's a short chapter, so that's even better. So I can do it short. And this is our book. Um, Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Law 14. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In a polite social encounter, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasions that is not an opportunity for spying. Joseph Devan was undoubtedly the greatest art dealer of his time. Hey, kid. From 1904 to 1940, he almost single-handedly monopolized Americans' millionaire art collecting market. But one prize plum eluded him, the industrious Andrew Mellon. Okay, Abdul, we're talking about this, not religion. Duval told his doubting friends, not only will Mellon buy from me, but he will buy only from me. For several years, he tracked his prey, learning the man's habits. Oh, hold on. Learning the man's habits, tastes, and phobias. Hey, Kay. To do this, he secretly put several of Mellon's staff on his own payroll, warming valuable information out of them. By the time he moved into action, he knew Mellon about as well as Mellon's wife did. Damn. Abdul, this is not about religion. This is 48 laws of power. We're not talking about religion, period. Hi, Ernestine. In 1921, Mellon was visiting London and staying in a suite on the third floor of Claridge Hotel. Devan booked himself in a suite just below Mellon's on the second floor. He had arranged for his valet to be friend Mellon's valet, and on the fateful day he had chosen to make his move, Melvin's valet told Devon's valet, who told Devon that he had just helped Mellon on his overcoat and that the industrialist was making his way down the corridor to ring for a lift. Devon's valet hurriedly helped Devon with his own overcoat. Seconds later, Devon entered the lift, and lo and behold, there was Mellon. How do you do, Mr. Mellon, said Devon. I am on my way to the National Gallery to look at some pictures. How uncanny. That's precisely where I'm going. And so Devon was able to accompany his prey to the one location that would ensure his success. He knew Mellon's taste inside and out, and while the two men wandered through the museum, he dazzled. Yeah, I know I do got a big, yeah, you're right. I got a big forehead. Thank you. Tell me something I don't know, bitch. Okay, now. And while the two men wandered through the museum, he dazzled the magnet with his knowledge. Once again, quite uncanny, they seemed to have remarkably similar tastes. Mellon was pleasantly surprised. This was not the Van he had expected. The man was charming, agreeable, and clearly had exquisite taste. When they returned to New York, Mellon visited Devon's exclusive gallery and fell in love with the collection. Everything, surprisingly enough, seemed to be precisely the kind of work he wanted to collect. For the rest of his life, he was Devon's best and most generous client. A man as ambitious and competitive as Joseph Devan left nothing to chance. What's the point of winging it or just hoping you may be able to charm this or that client? It's like shooting ducks blindfolded. Arm yourself with little knowledge and your aim improves. Mellon was the most spectacular of Devon's catches, but he spied on many a millionaire by secretly putting members of his client's household staff on his own payroll. He would gain constant access to valuable information about their masters' comings and goings, changes in taste, and other such tidbits of information that will put him a step ahead. A rival of Devon's who wanted to make Henry Freak a client noticed that whenever he visited this wealthy New Yorker, Devon was there before him as if he had a sixth sense. To other dealers, Devon seemed to be everywhere and to know everything before they did. His powers discouraged and disheartened them until many simply gave up going after wealthy clients who would make a dealer rich. Hey, therapy. You see, I had to call Ernestine a bitch. You 5 years old, but you don't need to be on the internet. Get out my chat. This is not for children. If you 5. And you can't be 5 talking about my hairline hole. Anyway. Such is powerful, artful spying. It makes you seem all-powerful, clairvoyant. Your knowledge of your mark can also make you seem charming. So well can you anticipate his desires. No one sees the source of your power, and what they cannot see, they cannot fight. Let me see. What you mean? Oh, I'm not asleep. What they cannot see, they cannot fight. Oh, and we almost done. Keys to power. In the realm of power, your goal is a degree of control over future events. Part of the problem you face then is that people won't tell you all their thoughts, emotions, and plans. Controlling what they say, they often keep the most critical parts of their character hidden. That's a fact. Their weaknesses, arterial motives, obsessions. The result is that you cannot predict their moves and are constantly in the dark. The trick is to find a way to probe them, to find out their secrets and hidden intentions without letting them know what you are up to. Oh, right. I got you. This is not as difficult as you might think. A friendly front will let you secretly gather information on friends and enemies alike. Let others consult the horoscope or read tarot cards. You have more concrete means of seeing into the future. The most common way of spying is to use other people, as Devon did. The method is simple, powerful, but risky. You will certainly gather information, but you have little control over people who are doing the work. Perhaps they will reveal your spying or even secretly turn against you. It is far better to be a spy yourself, to pose as a friend while secretly gathering information. And therapy, people do that all the time, pretend to be your friend, just trying to undercut you, to do harm to you. The French politician Talleyrand was one of the biggest practitioners of this art. He had an uncanny ability to get secrets out of people in polite conversations. A contemporary of his, Baron de Verkes, wrote, with and Grace marked his conversation. He posed the art of concealing his thoughts or his malice beneath a transparent vial of incantations, words that simply something more than they express. Only when necessary did he inject his own personality. And that's what I'm like. You just let people talk and you stay quiet and they will tell you everything. All you have to do with some people is go, yeah, and they'll tell you everything. The key here is that Talleyrand's ability to suppress himself in conversation to make others talk endlessly about themselves and inadvertently reveal their intentions and plans. Throughout Talleyrand's life, people said he was a superb conversationalist, yet he actually said very little. He never talked about his own ideas. He got others to reveal theirs. He would organize friendly games of charades for foreign diplomats, social gatherings, where, however, he would carefully wear their words, cajole confidence out of them, and gather information invaluable to his work as France foreign minister. At the Congress of Vienna, 1814-1815, he did his spying in other ways. He would blurt out what seemed to be a secret, actually something he had made up, then watch his listeners' reactions. He might tell a gathering of diplomats, for instance, that a reliable source told him that the Tsar of Russia was planning to arrest him and his top general for treason. By watching the diplomats' reactions to this made up story, he would know which ones were most excited by the weakening of the Russian army. Perhaps their governors had designs on Russia. As Baron von Steuben said, Talleyrand fires a pistol into air to see who would jump out the window. Oh, this is a good chapter. I like this. You said, as always, yeah, it is always snakes around you, and you better pay attention. Nevertheless, you should practice this tactic with caution and care. If if people begin to suspect you are trying to get secrets out of them under the cover of conversations, they will avoid you. That's a fact. Emphasize friendly chatter, not few men, and it's often the cleverest of rules is one is sincere in order to draw out confidence and the secrets of others. By pretending to bare your heart to another person, in other words, you make them more likely to reveal their own secrets. Give them a false confession and they will give you a real one. Damn, that's good therapy. That is good. Another trick was identified by philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, who suggested vehemently contradicting people you're in conversation with as a way of irritating them. You good at that therapy. Stirring them up so they can lose some of their control over their words. In their emotional reaction, they will reveal all kinds of truths about themselves, truths you can later use against them. Now, that's a fact. Another method of spying is to test people, to lay little traps that make them reveal things about themselves. Khoros, too, a notoriously clever king of Persians, had many ways of seeing through his subjects without rising suspicion. Oh, hey, how are you? If he noticed, for instance, that two of his couriers had become particularly, peculiarly friendly, he would call one of them to the side and say he had information that the other one was a traitor and would soon be killed. The king would tell the courier he trusted him more than anyone and that he must keep this information secret. Then he would watch the two men carefully. Oh, good. I'm fine. If he saw that the second courier had not changed in his behavior toward the king, he would conclude that the first courier had kept the secret, and he would quickly promote the man, later taking him aside to confess, I meant to kill your friend because of certain information that had reached me, but when I investigated the matter, I found it was untrue. If, on the other hand, the second courier started to avoid the king, acting aloof and tense, he knew that the secret had been revealed. He would then ban the second courier from his court, letting me know that the whole business had only been a test, but that even though the man had done nothing wrong, he could no longer trust him. The first courier, however, had revealed the secret, and he would ban him from his entire kingdom. You clap. What do you mean? It may seem an odd form of spying that reveals not information, but a person's character. Often, however, it is the best way of solving problems before they arise. By tempting people into certain acts, you learn about their loyalty, their honesty, and so on. And this kind of knowledge is often the most valuable of all. Armed with it, you can predict their actions in the future. That is a fact. We got one more paragraph left. Information is critical to power, but just as you spy on other people, you must be prepared for them to spy on you. One of the most potent weapons is battle of information. Hey, Elon. Battle of information is giving out false information. As Winston Churchill said, truth is so precious that she should always be attended by a bodyguard of lies. You must surround yourself with such a bodyguard so that your truth cannot be penetrated. By planning the information of your choice, you control the game. Yeah, really. In 1944, the Nazis rocket bombed London, suddenly escalated. Over 2,000 V-1 flying bombs fell on the city, killing more than 5,000 people and wounding many more. Somehow, however, the Germans missed their targets. Bombs that were intended for a Tower Bridge or Piccadilly will fall well short of the city, landing in the less populated suburbs. This was because in fixing their targets, Germany relied on secret agents they had planted in England. They did not know that those agents had been discovered and that in their place, English control agents were feeding them wrong information. You subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all like, share, subscribe, and hit that like button. Thank you. The bombs would hit further and further from their targets every time they fell. By the end of the campaign, they were landing on cows in the country. By feeding people wrong information, then you gain a potent advantage. While spying gives you a third eye, disinformation puts out none of your enemy's eyes. A cyclops, he always misses his target. Okay, bye, babe. Bye. Okay, bye-bye. That was so good. That's Law 14, 38 Law, 48 Laws of Power. That was so good. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment for my phone die.